So we're ready to start the level 2 research on our reciprocal teaching project. Up to this point, we've really just been collecting information, but now we have to start asking our own questions and then trying to find the answers. So let's get started. Where we want to start is in our class notebook. We want to go to our class notebook. We're in the section History, Unit 2, Slavery, and we want this document, Research Level 2 Inquiry. Now, you do have a little bit of information on here. Yeah, just a few days ago, we did that whole piece where you went and looked at your era. Now, my era is slavery. The quilt codes relate to the era of slavery. And so I put just a couple of notes that I had taken from the website that we searched on history.com the other day. But I also want to point this out. I gave you a sync blast on the Civil War last week. If your era is Civil War, you might want to jot a couple of the things you learned from there if they relate to your subject, or you may want to cut and paste some of those resource links, all right, because those could come in handy. Next week, I'll be giving you some sync blasts on slavery and the Reconstruction. And we're going to be in this research mode for about the next 2 weeks or so. So now we're at level 2 questions. It's time to just do more than just getting the facts. We have to start asking some questions ourselves. Now you'll see it says begin by writing some questions. That's the first thing you have to do is write some questions that you might be curious about. Now, what I have as my examples are the topic that I did last year, which was education during the Civil War. I've changed my example. So I'm going to be asking questions that relate to the quilt codes. You'll be asking questions that relate to your topic. For example, you can see last year, I wanted to know, well, who did get educated? And did everyone get educated? Or did only one class of people receive education? That would be some information I wanted to go try to find. But I'm doing quilt codes this year, so I might just say, who developed the idea that quilts were used on the Underground Railroad? Okay. I'm going to do a what question. What? Well, the quilt codes. I remember reading in the wiki article that this was a bit controversial. So, what is it about the quilt codes that makes them controversial? When? Now, again, remember, I don't want this just on that surface. I don't want to say when were they used, okay? Look at my questions from last year. When did education begin? When did it change? At what age did people begin their education? So when? When did the controversy start? When were the codes used? Where? Okay. Let's see, where? Where were the quilts hung? Where did the idea of the codes start? Okay. Why or how? Well, let's see. Why is this important today? How could codes be used for other, for other maybe secret immigration journeys? Okay, so I think I've got questions on here. All right, so that's a good start. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you can't find an answer to your question, that means you need to change your question. So let's see what I can find out. I'm going to start back at my wiki, but again, I want to show you that we've got lots of other sources. Here's why I like to start with the Wikipedia, not just because of what's on the wiki, but because of what's at the bottom. All right. So I'm going to read here. My first question was, who came up with these ideas? And I see already in these first two pieces, I've got two authors that wrote books. So I'm going to, and again, watch, I'm going to say, I'm going to just grab this line. Here's one book, and that answers one of those questions. All right. So who developed the ideas that the quilts were used? Okay. I can just put that right there. And there was another one in there about the who. Okay. And here's another book. Okay. I can just copy and paste the information that I need. Okay. And put it in here. I'm just looking at who developed the ideas. What did they come up with? That they were pieces and parts. Okay. I can get the information. Now, here's what I have to do. Any place that I get information from, I got to go grab that website, copy it. I need to come over here where it says website. I need to cut and paste that. I've got to give credit for what I get. One of the other things that I wanted you to know is one of the reasons I do like Wikipedia to start with is look at all these references and sources here. Here's another one. When I'm going to look here, I might want to go and see, do I see from maybe another perspective? Here's an article from the New York Times, History's Tangled Threads. What kind of questions am I looking for? Let's go back and see. Maybe I'm going to find out what is it about the quilt codes that make them controversial? When did the controversy start? So I can read this article and find out if there's anything in here. Ooh, look at this, but faked history. So this article might be talking about things that aren't quite true. And so I could probably add some of this information here. And again, remember, I'm not getting everything that I'm doing because I'm giving you the overview, but this is from my article in the New York Times. I'm going to copy and paste that. Now, you might find things from another website that answer this question. That's okay. Just start typing it down here. So your goal today is to answer those 5 questions, to get information. Now, I've just gotten one line of information for 2 questions. That's not going to be enough information for you. I want to show you, we have all these other sites here. Now, one of the ones that I'm going to tell you that I think is the best, it's a teacher site. It's this one right here, www.besthistorysites.net. I really like this site. It's actually a teacher site. And so when you go to it, you're looking at things that teachers would use to teach. And so if you scroll down on the right-hand side, you'll see under American history, you've got Civil War, you've got South and slavery, you've got Reconstruction. There's our 3 eras. There's a lot of information that you could probably find here related to your topics. Okay. For example, there is the American South. There is Frederick Douglass. There is slave narratives. There's John Brown. Okay. Lots of information there. At the end of today, at the end of this lesson, you will be taking a snip of one of your questions and the information that you got on the end of it to submit for an exit pass grade. So make sure you take good notes. If you need any help, you know where I am. Let's have a good day. Bye.